So from that data we grab, we're going to select column 3, which is the third column. Remember, we grabbed 3. And so what's the last one? The last one is going to be the grade from the quiz. We want to grab the grade where the first column, which was the student's number, equals A6. And what's A6? A6 is going to be over here. It's going to be the student's number. So this student grabbed just his data out of that query that we got and just give me that number. And then what we're doing here is we're going to replace. We're using the substitute command to replace the number of questions to be more matching my 10 issue. Because remember, we could have so many questions, right? So we're going to go ahead and grab K3, and K3 is up here. And K3 is actually the number of total questions in that quiz. So in this case, it's 6. In this case, it's 60. In this case, it's 46. So each quiz has a total number of different questions, but Google is not going to give me the grade I want. Google is going to give me the grade based on the total number of questions. So if a person answers 6 questions out of 6, then it's going to be 6 divided by 6, 100%. Well, that's okay, but what if he only answered 3 out of 6? That'll be 50%, but I still need to convert that to the 100. But then in this case, if it's 60, things get more complicated because I only need 10. So if they answered 20 questions, it would still only be 20 out of 60, but 20 is more than enough if they got them all correct. You see, so that's what I do here. I go ahead and I substitute, and then I grab that K3. Okay, it's a little bit confusing. So what could I do? I could go ahead and ask the AI to give me some advice on how this works exactly. And that's what I did here in this example. I went ahead and gave it my formula, or you could ask it how to do this. And here you can see the explanation is quite reasonable. Here, what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and we're going to query first. This is the ChatGPT giving me some input on this. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the substitute for the K3, because usually Google is going to give me a quiz something like 12 out of 20. But in fact, I don't want the 12 out of 20. The K3 holds the total number of questions for the quiz, so that's going to remove the 20, and it's going to just leave 12. I know that they got 12 right. I don't care how many they got wrong, I just care how many they got right. So here's 12. Now then, all I care about then is 10. So then I'm going to next test, well, as long as it's bigger than 10, then they're going to get a perfect score. So I maximize it at 10. If it's less than 10, then it's going to be the fraction of whatever their correct answers are to 10. So this is the kind of example that can help you with the AI and help you in this detail. And if it goes wrong, just paste your formula in and ask it, what am I doing wrong? Super helpful. AI is really good at this kind of scripting. Okay, but you still need to know what you want. So if you didn't know what you're doing and you didn't know how to grab the data, I'm not sure the AI can be totally helpful in that. So you do need to kind of know what your plan is. Then the AI can help you in the detail. Okay, so this is quite a little complicated piece of execution here. We are able to import all of the students' quizzes without having to do anything by hand. And I don't need to update this every semester because the students' enrollment that they use through the Google automatically gets brought over to the sheet. I just need to create a new database or delete the data from the old database, which would be where the form sends its data. Once you clear that, the new semester begins, the new data comes in, and it will automatically populate here. Once the quizzes begin, it'll automatically populate here also. I do the same kind of idea for the homework, which is called the QRP, which is an online assignment they do in another piece of software. When that software grades are done, the software grade goes into another sheet, and that sheet is right over here. That sheet is right here. QRP, there we go. We have each homework assignment, and we bring in their grades. Now this is imported. We import this from another piece of software, but once we import it, our grading sheet will grab the data that's here and then bring it over to be appropriate position for each student. Over here, the numbers are brought in automatically. And you can see what our script looks like. Right, it's going to go ahead and again, it's going to import a range. It's going to do a query. It's going to select. And what's it going to select? It's going to select some of the data from that range. And then it's going to go ahead and match it up with the student's number and then show it here. And then we easily get the students' grades from their assignments coming in here. And we do the exact same thing for their presentations. If they're in class A, then there's another sheet where they give each other grades for presentations. And we go ahead and we can grab those two in the exact same way. We do a query on an imported range. First we import a range, then we do a query, and we make sure that we select it based on the student's number here. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit so you get an idea of what this kind of grading sheet looks like. I mean, this is, again, over 300 students. That's already hard enough, but look at the complexity of the class. We have the students, we have the enormous number of quizzes because they watch videos. It's a MOOC online class. They have writing assignments that are done in software, and then some of them choose a different sub-part of the class where they make presentations, and that's class A. You can see most students choose class B. This is class A. And the grading will be different depending on if they're A or B, but those are just kind of code you write over here, basic Excel kind of related codes. It can become complicated, but you're not grabbing data from somewhere else. So I'll leave that for another time. Okay. Let's come back to our building. And I think you've gotten the message now. Each case study follows this idea. I think this is where Google, acting as an app, imitating an app. It's making it like an app. And it's saving a lot of complexity and time. However, it is challenging to get things working at the beginning because there is a certain amount of complexity here. It's not intuitive. You cannot just jump into it and get it done. There's some secrets to Google that a lot of people don't know about. And I think this is the biggest secret that is really powerful. You have a place where you keep your data, your information, like a database. That's going to be a Google Doc with many tabs in it that you can manipulate your data and change it and format it. You're going to have a form where you have input. You're going to receive information that can be updated, changed, or for the first time, like when students sign up for a class. And then you have a UI, a user interface. And this UI is what the users are going to see. Now over here, one of these tabs can be, and it is often an administration tab. This would be the back office. This is what the administrators see. And so you can make many tabs. You could be 10, 20 that you format here. And then you can grab pieces of those to put them into the UI. And in my case, the example we just went over, this case study, this UI is what? It's the grade sheet. It's the grades. And of course you say, well, grades, I just wait until the end of the semester and do it. But if we're running a business and we have something like inventory, or we're running a company where we collect data from customers, This kind of thing should have constant updating. It should always be updated right away. And this kind of approach can do that for us without a lot of effort. But the effort comes at the beginning. You need to follow this kind of construction, this logic. And then at the end, everything will flow naturally. Also, your users will feel they can get information quickly, and your administrators, that is the people in the office using this, they can be low tech. They can be low tech. Now, of course, when you build it the first time, again, it's going to be a little bit challenging. But what if I need to just change these colors, or I need to change this font, or I need to change some of these words? Our office staff, who's not a computer experts, who are not coders, they could change this easily. They can update it, they can maintain it. And so what I really like about this system is the big payoff comes over the long term. Once you set it up, it's going to work for time after time over the long term, and it's easy to maintain. Okay, so it's easy to keep up.